By the time you finish watching this video, a whole nother generation of 18-year-olds are going to have signed away their financial freedom for the next 20 years for a piece of paper that may not even get them their next job. I want you to imagine you're going to buy a car. You're in the dealership, you want something really, really nice, something that'll go really fast, that's going to last a long time, and you're willing to spend a lot of money on it, money that you actually don't have yet. So you test drive a car, it's a nice Ferrari, you love it, it goes really fast, your cherry red, your dream car. You're going to sign the papers, and the guy says, oh, by the way, this has a 50% chance of not turning on. Would you still take that car? And the obvious answer is no, you wouldn't. See, the funny part is, though, that's exactly what we do with college nowadays. The biggest lie told to Gen Z and Millennials was just go to college, get your education, get your degree, and then you're going to come out ahead getting the job that you've always wanted with a great paying salary that'll help support you through your whole life. Now, recent data from the Federal Reserve has unemployment for college grads sitting around 5.7 to 5.8%. And I already know what a lot of you are thinking. What's the big deal? It's only 5%. Of course, there's going to be outliers, right? And while yes, I would agree with you if that was the only piece of the puzzle, there's actually a much bigger piece that a lot of us forget to look at. Being not unemployment, but underemployment. See, underemployment is when an employer fails to fully utilize your skills or your education to its maximum potential, what you went to school for. In short, it's what you were promised versus what you were actually given. This is the person that got their fine arts degree and now works at Starbucks, or the guy who got his business degree or majored in business and now he's just struggling to keep an internship, not even getting a full-time job. And how many college grads are underemployed? Well, 41.5%. This is what I mean when I said you walk into a car dealership and they say, yeah, it's got about a 50% chance of turning on. In the same way, you go to college, you get your degree, you're going to be successful. You got around a 50% chance of going and getting the job that you went to school for. I just think about how depressing this is because it's like, dude, you spent 4 years of your life forking up a lot of money, a lot of time, a ton of effort to go to school, get your education so that you could be ahead of the curve. You did this to get ahead. And where it lands you is not where you expected, not really that far ahead. And the thing is that if college wasn't so expensive, this wouldn't be such a big deal. But it's not cheap. College is very, very expensive. And so forking up this much money to not get what you expected is kind of a big deal. We can see that college expensive because when you look at the numbers, the cost of college varies, but a general average is around $12,000 per year for an in-state public school and around $44,000 for a private school. Yeah, when you multiply that by 4, after 4 years to get a bachelor, you're looking at around $40,000 to $48,000 for an in-state public school and around $178,000 for a private school. I want you to just take a second and really internalize the number. Look at how big this number is. This is not pocket change. Could have been a down payment towards a house or buying a new car. It could have been a lot of things. So this number is big and it's something that we really should give it the respect that it deserves. Unlike a car loan or a down payment, student loan debt is something that you can never get out of. With lots of kinds of debt, such as like medical or credit card debt, there's always a fail-safe. That fail-safe being something we call bankruptcy. When it comes to student loans, there's no undo button, no fail-safe. And all the meantime, if you're struggling to make payments, you're just accruing more and more interest day by day. How much debt are most people graduating college with? Well, if you're just looking at a bachelor's degree, the median is $20,000 to $25,000. Imagine starting your adult life with $20,000 in the hole. If you're running a minimum wage job, being underemployed, as we mentioned earlier, that's just not even financially feasible. It's not even possible. And I do want to be clear about something, that college, just because it's not good for some, doesn't mean it's not good for everybody. There are some careers and professions out there, such as being like a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, where you need a higher education and people's lives are in your hands, that college makes a lot of sense. A lot of those jobs are really high paying jobs, and so the debt that you would go into to get that kind of education for that career, that a lot of times will make a lot of sense. For a dance degree or an art degree, A lot of times with fine arts, I mean, you have to ask yourself, is that really what I want to do here? If you have the money, or the means, I mean, by all means, do what's best for you, what makes you happy and where you believe you're supposed to be. But just understand that everything comes with a cost. A lot of people will say, well, college is an investment. And I'm here to say, yes, it is an investment, 100%. And everybody who invests at all understands that investments come with a risk. More than 4 in 10 borrowers report making trade-offs between loan payments and covering their basic needs, like groceries and rent. And 1/5 of those surveyed said they are currently either delinquent or default, which means they're not making any payments. When we talk about risk, guys, this is what I mean when you go into the dealership and the car has a 50% chance of not working. Or if we're being, conservative here, let's just say 40% chance of not working. That's not a risk you would want to take. What I found interesting with the data here is we saw that 40% earlier. The same 40% that is underemployed is the same 40% that's making trade-offs, having to decide, do I have to pay for groceries? Should I pay for groceries? Should I pay for my debt? Like, where's this money going to go? I just really empathize with people because having to make those kind of decisions is such a tough place to be in. And just imagine having to make that decision, that trade-off where should I go buy groceries or should I put some towards my mountain of debt that's just accruing interest infinitely that I can never get out of? Why I say college is financial suicide. It's not because it never works or it's stupid, it's only for dumb people. It's because it puts you so far financially behind. For a lot of people, the people it doesn't work for, it really, really hurts. I mean, my thing is, guys, is if you see college as some sort of magical machine that if you put time and money in and you turn it up and out pops a degree and a nice paying job with it, then we just need to reconsider because that's not what the numbers say. I know for a lot of us in high school, this is how it was where I was too, is the expectation is you just go to college. If you want to be successful, you're just going to go to college. That's just what everybody does. But I hope that this can just help you reconsider for a second and ask, is this the trade-off? Is this the risk? Is this the investment that I really want to be making? I was 18 once. I know how it feels to be left behind and how it feels if all your friends are excited about, going to a certain university and making new friends and getting a fresh start. I get it. Whatever negative emotion you're feeling of being left behind or left out because you're not going to a university or you're just wanting to take a year to consider everything before you dedicate your life to a 4-year plan that may not even pan out for you. I promise you, the negative emotion of being underemployed with a mountain of debt that's accruing infinitely that you can never get out of, I promise you that negative emotion will be way worse than whatever left out that you're feeling. The question is not, is college expensive? We all know the answer to that. The question is it worth it? And that's something that you've just got to decide for yourself. If you liked this video, consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. And I'm curious in the comments below, do you think college is worth it? And what major are you going into? Appreciate you stopping by, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.